Okay.
E36 Unfiltered, aka the Unfiltered Room with Mr. E.Great. Introducing all the latest names and the latest news. Hottest take, he the new face, yeah, the new sound, but keep it old school. Raw interviews from local athletes, even digging off and entertainment too. Own style, he got his own lane, it's unfiltered out, we keep it raw, man. New content to keep the people ready. E36, no Jerome Betty's real dialogue and real conversations. You keep it real, but we real. Mr. E.Great in the building. E36 Unfiltered.
All right, guys, how you doing? Back on the map for you guys. We have a special show tonight. We're not gonna really waste much time. I'm gonna make some couple of announcements real quick, and then I'm gonna encourage you guys to go ahead and tune in and get it rocking. All right. So first of all, guys, I'm your boy, I'm your host, I'm your man, E.Great, E36, guys. We back on the map doing a solo. I've been doing a couple of solo trials here lately. Got a lot of things going on in the sporting world, entertainment world, just in the world in general that I sometimes don't want to wait on get anybody coming through to kind of talk with me about it or whatever. It's kind of just want to kind of get it off my head, so get off my mind and kind of just go ahead and put it out there. So this is one of those situations where, like, you know what, got some information to talk about, man. Some celebrating, giving some of these individuals their flowers as they deserve. So without further ado, like I said, guys, going to jump right into it. But make sure before we get started, guys, if you want to also, while you're coming on here, if you're coming on here checking this out, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the E36 Unfiltered YouTube page, guys. Again, it's an E36 Unfiltered YouTube page. In addition to that, likewise, hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Share this video, guys, on your page. Hit that share down on the bottom right below there, pretty much, to be able to share this YouTube podcast on your social media page, outlet, whatever. All the support is definitely needed. Time and time over again. Make a little adjustment to the camera. There we go. All right. So anyway, guys, I also got my apparel. If you guys want to know more about that, get on that. Got my apparel, E36 Unfiltered, going down the sleeve as well. Maybe look on the screen, but yeah, check it out, man. So we get this thing started, get us rocking. We are also available on all platforms. You see on the information there, Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public, and last but not least, you want to support us, guys, go to Cash App, money sign E36 Podcast. Again, it's Cash App E36 Podcast. All right, so here lately, guys, man, what I'm coming on here to do is really just, I'm gonna give the man his flowers, man. So LeBron James just recently broke what I think many deemed as almost the unbreakable record that we never thought would be broken, that has held since 1984. So almost 40 years this record has been held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly known as Al-Cinder, the all-time leading NBA scoring, also the all-time NBA regular season scoring record was previously with 38,387 points. Well, recently, LeBron James last Tuesday night against the OKC Thunder at home in the LA Lakers jersey broke and set the new all-time scoring leading record, guys, with 38,390 points. He hit it in high fashion, a nice turnaround jumper with like 10 seconds left in the third quarter. A smooth, nothing but bottom of the net type of fadeaway. And like I said, man, he was truly celebrated as he needed to be, as he deserved to be, as he had earned it. He came into the game needing 36 points, and you can just see from the jump how he came out the gate, just aggressive, really forcing the action more than letting action come to him, but still doing it within the confines of the game, as LeBron, to know how to do. That's what he do, is who he is. And like I said, a beautiful celebration that gave him in a moment to be able to really soak in and as best he could. So I can imagine having to be able to try to kind of off of such a high moment and then refocus to try to finish the game, but I really believe he actually kind of maybe summoned all his energy up um, getting to the record. Like I said, he got 6 points with by the end of the fourth quarter or end of the third quarter, and I think he ended up finishing with 38 points. So he only had 2 more points after that. He didn't really play a whole lot, and he did miss a few more games after that due to coming to be a bit concerning with the ankle foot soreness. Nevertheless, again, this is all about man really celebrating that. This is a guy who I have a great deal of admiration and respect for many different reasons. One, just seeing able to commit to such a level of sustained greatness for so long. Um, is remarkable on the longevity that he's been able to do it. We have seen in many sports, players who've been able to have big bangs for shock value in their career and has seemingly taken the media by storm, but it only lasts for a short period of time, maybe a few short years or a few games, a few months. I mean, Lynn Sanity was like, whoa, I knew it. He did his thing. He called it Lynn Sanity, but it didn't last for maybe half a season, something like that, and slowly but surely the sparks by the next season, he pretty much had fizzled out. No disrespect to him, but he hit that peak, or you have people have their different Vinsanity, Vince Carter. He had a 20+ year career, but Vinsanity was only been able to last for a few short years. And even just many people throughout the time. And again, I don't want to just try to diminish anybody their accomplishments, because that's not my intent. My intent is to really talk about a guy who seemingly has came in the league with the most hype that you can even imagine, coming out of high school, as a junior high school, as a junior. I was really just a sophomore, been deemed the chosen one, getting a place on the Sports Illustrated his junior year, with that much pressure, that much accolades coming out, and not only being able to sustain that level of greatness, but to live up to the hype. Like it was almost, to me, almost like it was an impossible feat that he was going to ever even live up to it. Yet, not only did he live up to it, this guy actually exceeded the expectations of so many. And I remember him because, just like LeBron, class of 03, 38, same for me. Same age. I remember hearing about him in high school. I remember hearing about, and somebody I think he actually ended up breaking his arm, breaking his wrist, like his 8th, 9th grade, 10th grade year, something like that. I remember exactly when it was, but and being able to go through everything he went through, and never allowing it to take away from who he was, take away from the moment that made LeBron who he was. Drew Joyce, his high school coach, talks about it as he never really felt too worried about all the accolades and all the hype that he was given, because he felt like he had the shoulders to be able to keep the first thing first, which was, hey, the basketball court, this is what I do. I got to keep working. I got to keep not only not really meeting their expectations, but to meet and sustain my expectations to the highest level. And he was able to do it. He was able to sustain it, man. And now you're talking about somebody in year 20 who's still averaging 30 points a game. Like, still, that's crazy. That's insane. No one has been able to do it and do it at that high of a level for that long. And interesting conversation I had with a friend of mine was really us trying to speak to what would we consider 10, 15 years from now. What will be Bron? How will we explain his peak years? What's his high peak years? You got the Kobe Bryant. It's like a 3, 4, or 5 year window. About 3 or 4 year window will be Kobe was at his apex. When he won the championships. I think even about probably a year before then, maybe the 09 and 08, 9 and 10 and so forth. But then his body started to break down because of the strenuous work and how hard he pressed to get there. Shaq, you think of that. Jordan, you think of those years that were their prime years. You can kind of look at their prime, their peak years. But LeBron is like, you really don't even know. It's like, got better every year he was able to still be able to reshape, remold, redefine his game. Where he maybe came in the game early on, he's probably a little limited with his post game. Well, no more. Came in with limit on his jump shot. Well, he'll go back a few years. That's not no longer a weakness. Okay, maybe not having a great his back to the basket might be his strong suit. Boom, turning around. That's no longer his weakness. He became everything he needed to become to be able to be a player that had no weakness that you really could just go to. Now, that means LeBron will never be a great 3-point shooter. I think anybody's safe to say that, never be a great free throw shooter. But when you think about his career, as much as I'm a fan of some of the great ones they call scores, I don't want to bring anybody else's name up in this thing. His marks and people they put him against the GOAT. His 3-point career average would still be better than him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what do you mean? What that say about him, or say about the others as well? So it's just like I said, man. It's just for him, and I would say this. This is also a big thing that I loved about LeBron is that he has never allowed his platform to he always his platform and never was fearful of being taken away. What he stood for, what he believed in, just his conviction. And what I mean with that, it became the black issues, the police brutality. I can't breathe. I mean, this man started at no point in his career when it was time to speak up and stand up for the people, for his people's culture. Did you ever see him take the easy way out? Do you never know him being willing to put his name up in it, put his face up in it, stand in his 10 toes down? And the level of respect that I have just for that in itself is major. I mean, simply major. And so I'm doing it right now. I'm actually watching some of the highlights of different things of what he has done, and just looking at that scoring record. So if you see me kind of dip and dabbing a little bit, just kind of keeping up with that. But like I said, man, just seeing just the sustained level of greatness. I'm 38, so am I still in decent shape? Yes. But to do it this level? Absolutely not. Absolutely never have. That was he's a rare talent, man. Came out the game 6'8", 230, 240. And 20 years down the road, 6'9", 250, still been I mean, he's just jumping, running just as fast, and just the things he's been able to do, man. To see a guy truly working his craft. I mean, one thing I've never heard anybody ever be able to speak of, even in this late in his career, is that questioning Braun's commitment to the game, questioning his conditioning, always coming in peak shape, being able to constantly work on his body. Made the quote of, or the knowledge or the words saying he spent, I think $2 million on his body, or $1 million on his body. That became, he made that famous. He made that to be a well-known thing, and I think that it's good to be commended because he laid the blueprint for so many. He has been able to lay the blueprint because of his dedication, because of his determination, because he never lost focus as to why he was in this game. What made LeBron James? His love for the game, his commitment to the game, and not to go overshadow that. Like I said, I was talking about the things he's been able to do off the court, being an activist, and activists, they don't get it right all the time. No, but you never had to question his where he lie, his stance, his commitment, his love for his people, his culture, to see things do better in his hometown, giving back, building the I Promise school, charter school. I know so many would look at it so many different ways, but it builds it to a guy who didn't go to college because of the opportunity was so great for him to go and change his family forever, but yet understood the importance of education, and making sure that, hey, you know what? If you get a chance to do that, everybody's not going to be a LeBron James. There's only one LeBron James. There's only one this person, one that person. So I what I will do is, everybody can have a chance, or should have a chance, to be able to go to higher learning, and taking kids out of Akron and different places to be able to pay for their college. That come on. I had never heard of that. Charter school, just getting to school. He's not the first one to do that. But like I said, his commitment to give back, truly do that, and stay committed to the cause is unbelievable. In addition to that, also just hearing about this family, this guy 20 years in the spotlight since high school, and the biggest scandal you can come up with that they had was trying to figure out where he got that Hummer, his Hummer, going into his senior year. That was the biggest thing. Which of course, we found to be nothing. You just a bunch of smoke, whatever. Um, and like I said, family man, Savannah, his 3 kids, and then like Bronny, who was trailing his own trail, along with his younger brother as well, who Bryce is now becoming like, whoa, okay, Bryce sick with it too. I can only imagine what the little princess is going to become and what she's going to do, whether it's sports related or not. The opportunity that he's been able to create through the game of basketball and the name and the legacy and being able to uphold all the pressure. And you can even see, I even commend him on how he even supported his son in his decision to whether, choose college, whether go to G League or whatever it is. You can tell he's instilled within Bronny of the expectation of how to manage that. And he looks a lot like his father in the aspect of how he plays. Admirable, and speaks to the young man that he has helped form his brother, his son into, as he continued down his path, and like, hey, this is your path, this is your place. What I want you to do this, I want you to do that. Yes, only thing he has spoke to is that I have a strong desire to play alongside my son, in a few years. So, he has accomplished everything he wants to, that he has to. I mean, even if he left the game to this day, I think it's no question that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No question he's one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest. Depending on who you're speaking to and what you're looking at, what you're looking for. Um, like I said, man, just really being an example of how to do it. I think not only if you're just an athlete, if you have a career in general, whether it's you want to be going to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be architect, you want to be an engineer, a vet, whatever it may be, to own your own, to be your own boss, man. Um, and a career, he has shown you can take lessons from him, committing to the cause, committing to your craft, making sure you're never and never get complacent, always looking for other ways or other places that you can improve on. You may be strong in this area, but you're not as strong in this area. Let's work on that. Let's sustain this, but also let's work on this and continue to be able to evolve just so that you can stay relevant in whatever field you are in, and also being able to have work-life balance. It's amazing as it may be and hard as it seems. It's like, how do you even have time to beat your son's game? How do you have time to be this and be that? And I don't know how it works, but it's clearly you can see um, he has figured it out, at least a certain for what we can see. And I remember, and kind of that shift gears, um, all that cannot be accomplished also without having a strong support system, a very, very strong support system around you, um, is a make or break for so many athletes, so many people, just in general. And one thing I'm so impressed about, I think that it tends to get overlooked, is how even as a young 18-year-old kid, he knew who needed to be around him, and doing what and how to empower those around him, his friend, childhood friend, a lot of them his teammates, and people he met later on down the road. Of not only is that, hey, y'all, yeah, my aunt today, I heard him. I was watching the revamping or the replay on YouTube of the 2003 draft, and their coach at that time, Paul Silas, legend in his own right for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They asked, hey, LeBron has a lot of people around him all the time. How you going to manage his entourage and different things of that nature? He was speaking of, well, we got to make sure he didn't even know the level or what type of people he had around him for real. because he mentioned, well, we gotta do the most part. The biggest thing is going to be protecting LeBron. Really protecting him and shielding him, and basically speaking to the entourage he had around him, making sure that they don't become a distraction. Make sure they are moving the needle forward and not backwards, and not just hanging on. Little did they know, LeBron was having none of that on his team. It was all about, look, y'all can be with me, y'all can rock with me, and I'm gonna help you with the doors so they can be open if you want to have the interest to do certain things. But you're not gonna just be here, just to be here. You're gonna put in work. You're gonna have to bring something to the table. You're gonna be able to help build this LeBron James empire. And we look at it 20 years later, have done just that with his crew. The Clutch Sports. Rich Paul is one of the biggest names in the sports agency world now. We can go on and on with the crew around him, that he didn't give it to him, but he created the opportunity for them to be able to embark on their journey if they wanted to. I'll be here to support you. I can do that for you, and we're gonna make a move from there. And so, even that, man, was like, it was like, this dude, how did he have it together like this? Came in with a $190 million, $90 million, $100 million shoe deal. Looking at all these things this guy had, and it's been nothing but a class act. It's been nothing but just calculated after calculator of greatness. But I also, what I enjoy about this record that he's been able to hold. You're talking about a guy who came up with a record that he wasn't even going for. He never even came in. That was never one of his accolades to be an all-time leading scorer, because he wasn't score first. He was taught the game the right way and played it the right way, as being getting others involved. And now I'm gonna get mine, but I'm gonna get others involved, because I know when I get others involved, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna handle mine. And to be in this position, from what they said, quote unquote, not having a killer mentality, not being a scorer first, playing the game the right way, has bid him to be in the position that he's in right now. So I use it as a test to this. When people say the killer mentality or this and that, other players can do it better, this and that, he's a true one of the glowing definition of blocking out the outside noise and sticking to doing the things the right way, not cheating the game, not trying to be who you're not. If you talk the game, he like to say, the right way, making the right play, making the right pass, taking the right shot, and sticking committed to that, and really going for that mentality, going in from that standpoint. So you can't go wrong, because you're gonna know when those times to do this and do that. Now, even me sometimes I'll be like, yo, take the shot, I'll do this, do it. Oh, wow, that was a heck of a pass. Okay, that was a good decision. Has bid him well. I'm not here to argue, like I said, who's the greatest, who's this and that. LeBron has had failures where he hasn't come up at the end on the right side of it. Had failures in the finals and scores and different things, whatever. But to see this guy 4 championships later, multiple MVPs, 4 final MVPs, just the things that seeing this guy been able to accomplish over the years by doing it the right way, playing again the right way, to me is another testament of his greatness, discipline, commitment, all of that. And I look at this, you hear this thing about stat padding that was kind of placed on him. And people love to try to throw these accolades as to kind of, to measure up to certain things, certain players, or being able to have a certain tag of as the greatest of all time, or different things. One thing I like to point out that kind of makes like, man, that negates almost all of that. It's simply when he could have easily last year won the scoring title in year 19, won it without a question. All he do is play 2 more games. Instead, like, nah, I'm good. I don't need that. We ain't going to the playoffs. I'm not even gonna be playing. I come here to play for a purpose. I play for chips. I don't play for scoring titles. And him speaking to, like, hey, if I wanted to, he spoken a couple years back. I can win the scoring title every year if I wanted to. and to be able to have that ability to do it last year, and you're 19 and decide not to, because he's like, hey, he needs to be playing, man. He's trying to go score no individual accolade. I had come here to be a scorer like that. And it just spoke to the truth of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, who could literally say that I could have done it. All I had to do was play a few games, 2 more games, I would have done it. But I chose not to. So, again, doing it the right way, man. And like I said, just here to celebrate this man, his greatest man, and give him his flowers. Because what I don't want to be a victim of, as I've seen so many have, and continue to be, is to not know how to truly appreciate and salute greatness. And I think we got to do this in general, man. I'm talking to just people, the human race, other black folks, man. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody. But I'm speaking to our people that we gotta do that. LeBron James is one of our many glowing figures in this world to salute, and how he's been able to manage and handle these expectations all this time, and to be unapologetic about it as well. I'll celebrate that, because once it's gone, it's gone. We're not going to see another. It's a great chance we're never going to see another LeBron James in our lifetime. You think about this: the last player we had that people can remember that could score, pass, rebound was freaking Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson came in the league in 78, 79. Bro, I wasn't even born yet. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people didn't get to see him in his prime because of the unfortunate HIV that took the game away from him earlier than what he would have loved. And I mean, he created Showtime, man. That's Showtime. But even him, couldn't jump like LeBron. Wasn't athletic, wasn't as explosive. They have the arsenal of scoring like that as he was able to have, and yet still to put up, to do what he did. Magic Johnson is a standard. He was a standard, and still one of the greats of all time when it comes to point guards and just in general. And to have to wait well over 30 years to be able to embark on a LeBron James to come around almost like 20 years later, to have a LeBron James and seeing what we're seeing. I'm not one that's going to waste the time of spewing discord and been unappreciating that greatness. Nah, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? So this day, like I said, to give him his flowers, man. 2000 class, 2003. I'm 03 class, baby. So from the rip, I've been rocking with the LeBron James. And like I said, man, it's just a salute to him. And he's not done yet. I mean, this guy is year 20, but like he can go a couple more years and still be one of the top players in the NBA, if not the top. That's the thing about it. He's not in the place he's playing year 20. He's barely averaging 15 points or 20 points a game or none of that. He's in year 20 and still still the face of the NBA, still putting it down, doing what he do. And it's great to see. You know what I'm saying? It's great to see, and I think right now they are pushing for a playoff position. Even to push it, get it going. They got a new revamped team. Hope if pray on his health that he continue to stay healthy. AD can stay healthy. To make it happen. And last but not least, enough about that. I also want to speak a little bit more to what he's been able to do, and I'm salute him for this. Is that he didn't have the fortune to come in with an all-time great head coach. Quite a few of his head coaches were first-time coaches that he helped take them to a championship. Really, actually propelled their career more than anything. Starting with the Miami coach. While I'm forgetting his name, I can see his face all day, every day. But anyway, come from there, and then going to Tyronn Lue, same concept. Sperano. Yeah, Sperano. I'll make sure I get that correct. I'll make sure I do my research on that guy. I don't want to mess that up. Heat. Yeah, I want to make sure I mess that up because it is important. I don't want to mess the name up because I'm on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, what is it? What is it? Yeah, Eric Spoelstra. That's what Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra. That's beautiful, man. And but still been able to lead the guys to championships, have propel people in their own their career. This guy been in the game so long, he's playing against other players' sons now. Like, hey, you played against my dad. Like, jeez, that's so old. And now I'm playing against you. So man, just speaking to that, man, like I said, the whole thing is, again, this salute LeBron James and what he's been able to do. And like I said, man, just keep it going, keep it pushing. I want to take up much more time. I can talk about this stuff on and on. Feel free to drop your best LeBron James memory, why you appreciate this guy, man, how he has inspired, how has he inspired your life, or impact the game of basketball, and what it is to be a professional athlete on and off the court is, to me, what makes this level of accomplishments. He has multiple of those, but even bigger. So yes, salute to that, man. And like I said, I want to hold you guys any longer, but just want to speak to that guy. So as we sign off, make sure you guys go hit that like button, that share button. If you also go subscribe to the page, click below the button right there. You can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, E36 Unfiltered. And last but not least, if you guys want to support my Cash App for the podcast, it's $E36 Podcast, E36 Podcast. Once again, the man, King James, we signing out, all-time NBA leading scorer. Salute to the James, to the King, man. E36 giving you flowers. We out of here. Appreciate it.
Okay.
E36 Unfiltered, aka the Unfiltered Room with Mr. E.G.O.A.T. Introducing all the latest names and the latest news. Hottest take, he the new face, yeah, the new sound, but keep it old school. Raw interviews from local athletes, even digging off and entertainment too. Own style, he got his own lane, it's unfiltered out, we keep it raw, man. New content to keep the people ready. E36, no Jerome.